Well, we are hopefully live from the rolling hills of Murrayshire in the far northeast corner of bonnie Scotland. What a beautiful song there, right? Earl of Murray, which is, of course, here, Murrayshire, Mory, right? So I thought I would play it. It's in relation to, I think, James Stewart, who was the Earl of Murray at one point. Not in my day, put it that way. But he was quite the character, and he was actually one of the first government officials to be assassinated with a gun. That's what they say here in Murrayshire. Would you Adam and Eve it, right? So I'll show you that as well. A bit of an update tonight. I'm not going to be on too long, maybe about 20 minutes, maybe longer. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in this absolutely insane world that we live in. Where do you even begin? At the beginning. Yeah, that would be a good place to start, right? So I want to show you in relation to the Earl of Murray, right? Quickly while I can, while we're still here, let me get rid of the banner man, and we'll jump into the comments. We've got 11 people out of the blue tonight, so I do apologise. A bit of an update. I'm hoping the next live stream that I do is going to be on Monday night, and it's looking like it could be a breakdown of the swine flu pandemic. Yeah, dun dun dun. And I mean, yikes. Yeah. Again, I can't help but think there is nothing new under the sun whatsoever. And holy moly, when you look at the timeline of events from the swine flu quote unquote pandemic in the when was it, the 70s, I believe. It's yeah, there's a lot of similarities similar to today, and these similarities not just with today's medical treatments in the 70s, medical treatments, but even before, people knew that when you play the game of inoculation, you're asking for trouble, right? And boy, did they get trouble in when it was the swine flu pandemic, seemingly. I think about seemingly what 4 cases were confirmed. One of them seemingly passed away, and the rest of them were okay. But no other cases got confirmed. And we're going to look at a document that I found yesterday. I'm not going to give away the name of it, because then you could go and get it. Don't give it away, right? So I'm going to leave it. I don't think it's been covered on YouTube, at least. The document in particular. There is a good video. It's one of them 60 minutes with, I can't remember the guy's name. One of the 60 minutes videos, and it looks at the swine flu pandemic, and we might show some of that, and then look at the timeline that gets given to us from, well, the American government, basically. It's an official document, an official timeline. And when I found it, I was like, yeah, I should probably cover it. Potential strike material, I would say. So we might have to watch, but I'm hoping to do that on Monday, and I reckon it is going to be one to watch, one to look out for, not because I'm there, but because of the information that we're going to cover. It's not a stream that I've ever done before. We've not really looked at the swine flu pandemic timeline. We've touched on it from time to time, but we've not done a Talbanoki deep dive into it, if you want to go with that. So we're going to do that on the Monday. And like I said, the guy Earl of Murray, James Stewart, who the song's about, that this is the guy here. Seemingly, he got assassinated. Oh, I've went by it, have I? Probably. Where's it gone now? Yeah. So they reckon that the Earl of Murray got shot dead here in, I'm unsure actually, in Murrayshire. Possibly at Huntley, I believe. But seemingly he was the first head of government to be assassinated by a firearm, going way back to the 1500s. Anyone remember? Sensum, is he about? He might recall it, right? Of course he won't. He would have been in Englandshire, not Murrayshire. So quite interesting. And there's a guy as well, while we're here, there's a guy called, in fact, I hope we're okay for the audio. I better check. I better say hello and check before we go any further, right? There's a song there somewhere. So let me jump into the chat. Hopefully we're okay for audio. Good evening to everyone tonight. Bry's in the hood. Good to see Bry back again. Might is in the hood. I think is on the backup channel. We're live across 2 channels tonight. Confusion. Hey, I tried to go live on Telegram, but I don't know if it's going to work for me going live on Telegram. So I'll revisit that scenario in the future. But for the time being, I don't think I'll be streaming on Telegram anytime soon, right? But we have got the Telegram channel and the Telegram group. I was gonna, because I've got the Telegram channel. I did contemplate or consider taking or closing down the original Telegram group, but I think I'll just leave it open and we'll use that as the channel chat group instead of me creating a chat group. Hey, it's confusion. It doesn't take much to confuse me. That is for sure. But so we do have the group on Telegram. So if you are there, check it out. On Monday, I reckon we could be streaming from, I'm hoping, the website Odyssey and this channel, but it might be on my backup. I'm unsure. It's an official document that we're going to be covering, but I don't know. You never know when you're going to get a strike from the FOT police, right? So who else have we got? Might you might want to might jump over to the the original channel where everyone seems to be. Some people don't even know that I do have the 2 channels. You should know by now, honestly. I'm going to have to come and pay you a visit, right? Jay Hart in the hood as well. Where did you go? There we go. Good to see you. Who else did I see? Norin? Are we going with Norin? We'll go with that. Louisiana in the hood. Fantastic. A pleasure to have you tonight. Dave in the hood. Roof is in the hood as well. The roof is on fire. Good to see you back again. Who else have we got? You can tell that I'm a DJ, right? Disc jockey shout outs. I remember growing up in the 90s as a young kid. In the mid 90s, you would phone up the radio to get a shout out or a song request. That was pretty much the internet then. Did you hear me on the radio? It got a shout out. Gone are the days, right? And that was great, actually. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the childhood that I had. Growing up in today's world, I don't think I would enjoy it as much, to be honest. How do we change that? Good question, right? Joni as well in the hood. Good to see Joni back again. A pleasure to have you. We're not going to be on long tonight. About half an hour, but I have got a few bits to show you. And a bit of an update. Like I said on Monday, we're going to get into the swine flu pandemic, and yeah, it's going to be quite a good one. There is so much going on there. It is mental. A bit like the faking the moon landing. There's so much going on with that. I've been looking into that a wee bit more as well. The video I put out today with Neil Armstrong, he ejected from the LLRM, I think, some sort of aircraft they developed. It was to test. It was a testing aircraft. So they could test out the technology because it was similar to the actual lander model, but not the same, similar. So they were testing testing it out and it failed. You can clearly see it was a nightmare to operate. So dangerous. One false move, one slip of concentration, and you're away. And it's smashes into the ground and explodes into flames, right? So it's a dangerous bit of equipment. Clearly, you would not want to be being the pilot of that. Put it that way. You wouldn't want to fly it. But Armstrong did. I'm unsure why he did, but seemingly he did. And I mean, they talk about testing the equipment. The original lunar module, it never even got tested once. Not once did they test it. Not once, because what they said was it was too fragile, too delicate, can't be tested. I mean, come on. Honest to God, they could not even test it. Yet it went to the moon, the hardest mission ever completed, absolutely flawless. Not even tested here on Earth, but it worked on the moon, right? Sure it did. I mean, who are they trying to kid? And they reported Armstrong bit his tongue after it. That was it. He bit his tongue. So I don't know if it was a warning to Armstrong, maybe even a bit more. Did Armstrong cross the line at some point? And did they potentially not plan on Neil walking away from the incident? But he did. And of course, after that, he was a bit apprehensive, never mentioned it, anything like that. And given the fact Neil was one of their prized pilots, and inexperienced in that particular vehicle, I can't see why they would have used Neil that day, but they did. And Neil hardly spoke about it. Quite comical, to be honest. I've been looking a wee bit more as well at the Clovis base in New Mexico, where seemingly the moon landing got filmed, right? And I reckon the guy Robert Emenegger, I reckon he is the guy. It wasn't Kubrick. As much as I would kind of want it to be, it's looking more like Robert Emenegger is the guy, and he seemingly even said, we touched on him a bit, we picked him out, and he fits the bill. But he even seemingly said in a autobiography that he was in Clovis, New Mexico in 1969 or 8 on a confidential operation or mission. So he definitely fits the bill, if that is true. And I got that from Bart Sibrel in one of his latest interviews. So Robert Emenegger, in my view, is looking a lot more like the guy that filmed the moon landing in New Mexico, Clovis, the Cannon Air Force Base. So I think we're National Memorial Gardens as well. I think we're okay for audio. Analog, good to see you back again. Ruth, Katie as well in the hood. Good to see Katie. Joni, yep. I think I might have got most people. I'm hoping I did. But we're not staying on too long. But I want to show you quickly if I can screen share. There we go. So yeah, I showed you the guy Jake. Yeah, I wanted to show you this guy here. I thought he might have been connected. This is Masonry Today. All the history on the Freemason entity. The guy's name is spelt in a lot of times Moray, but also Murray. And I thought there could have been a connection between this in particular, this character in particular, and Murray Shire, where I stay. There doesn't appear to be a connection that I can see, but an interesting character nonetheless. This guy here, when I noticed his history, if you like, he was the founder of the Royal Society, a Masonic entity, if there ever was one. It's basically another branch of Freemasonry. But if you look here, Murray was initiated May 20th, 1641, into the Lodge of Edinburgh. So in Scotland, although this was a Scottish lodge, the initiation occurred in England. He became the first documented individual initiated into speculative masonry on English soil. In 1969, a lodge of research called Lodge Sir Robert Murray, number 1641, was created. So, interesting that, I thought, right? Interesting because Freemasonry, there is no border. There is no border when it comes to the occult. They could not care about English tradition, Scottish tradition. They've got their own traditions. And that, like I said, no boundary. The guy gets initiated in Scotland, sorry, in England, but is written down as being initiated as a member of the Edinburgh Lodge. And he became the first ever documented individual to be recorded as being initiated into Freemasonry. And that won't be by accident. That in itself is a clue. Because really, he should have been initiated in Edinburgh, but clearly he wasn't. always deception from the very, very, very beginning when you're dealing with the secret occult, if you like. So I thought I would show you that guy. Quite interesting. we might get into we might get into it a wee bit more. He was born in Perthshire, so not Murrayshire, but Perth. Perth in Scotland, not Australia. I had to think there. Although there's probably a Perth in America as well, I'd imagine. Someone can correct me, I guess. As well, I noticed. Where is it? Some claimed Murray attended the University of St Andrews, although no records have been found. Right. It is believed he was educated in France. Again, complete deception with when you're dealing with these individuals. Mysterious is one way to put it. So we might get into him again in the future. Like I said, I'm hoping to do possibly a series of different live streams on the faking of the moon landing. I'm unsure what we're going to call it, but I'm sure we'll think of something, right? Some of this we have kind of touched on in the past. People like the Special Operations Squadron. We had a look at them. Some of you might recall. Interesting logo, right? But there was another entity involved with Cannon Air Force Base, and it was the 33rd Special Operations Squadron. You could not make it up. And of course, they deal with sort of home affairs, right? Looking after you, protecting you. Yeah, and safe, right? Look at this bit of equipment here. Super duper drone. Yeah. A spying plane, if there ever was one, right? But of course, yeah, these are the good guys. You don't have to worry about them. And their logo as well was a cracker. Originally, I thought it was the eagle, but I think Frank might have called it right. It's not an eagle. It's I'm forgetting the name of the bird now. It's what is it? Is it not a phoenix? Maybe it is phoenix actually. I think it might be a phoenix, which again says quite a lot. We had a look at them. We will be revisiting the 33rd Special Operations. No two ways about it. There's more that I want to do on the CDC and also different operations that have been carried out by the Americans, the American government, the American entities, military, NASA, CDC, you name it. Anyone heard of Operation Tumbler Snapper? Maybe Frank might have heard. Is Frank in the hood? Let me see. I'll jump in the chat quickly. If I can manage it. I noticed as well, we're almost at 5K, 5,000 subscribers, and honestly, I find that pretty much unbelievable, to be honest. It's staggering to think that I remember when I had about 3, 4, I had about 4 different, not even 4. I think, possibly about 5 subscribers, and I thought, right, I think I'll call it a day. There's no point. No one likes it, but I did enjoy it, and I still do. I still do enjoy it. So I carry on. I'll keep going. The subscription count is kind of not a big issue. I mean, it is pleasing that people want to watch, but I enjoy covering the topics that I cover. I've certainly grown to enjoy content creation a lot more, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping that I've actually gotten a wee bit better at it. But hey, you can be the you can be the jury on that, right? But I'm certainly going to be hopefully this year covering a lot more. That's what I like to try and do. Cover as much as we can. We might get nowhere, but we're doing our best, right? So I'm unsure. Some of you might have heard of it. Operation Tumbler Snapper. If not, you have now, right? And it is to do with nuclear tests. Yeah, the good stuff, right? And yeah, radiation, the effects of radiation, the effects of non-ionizing and ionizing radiation. Let's go with that. So this is a operation document we're going to be getting into potentially pretty soon. There's a photograph from it here. Look how strange it is. I mean, is it a real photograph that I don't know if I can buy it's even real? Is it a special NASA camera capturing the explosion? What does it even look like? I don't even know. Honest to God. So we're gonna cover Operation Tumbler Snapper. But there's a lot more we're going to be getting into. Again, there's more stuff that I've got on nuclear testing. Yeah, nuclear testing. Because the Russians are on. The Russians are coming. Quickly test all the bombs on the people. Want to kill us? Forget about the radiation. It doesn't matter. Right? Go with that. So there is a lot. I've got a lot to get into. But I reckon on the Monday, first and foremost, we're going to get the swine flu situation agenda out the way. And I reckon that is going to be quite a good one. So I'll prepare it as best as I can. And like I said, I reckon I'll show a video from the 60 minutes video. And then we're going to look at the timeline of events regarding the swine flu pandemic, right? And it is quite staggering what they done. Honest to God. And of course, that was then. They wouldn't do it today, right? Sure. Let's go with that. I've got to watch what I'm saying as well. So maybe we'll do it on the backup. Although we got a strike there as well. We just got out. I think the other day, excuse me. Oh, burping. 2 days ago, we got out of prison on the backup channel. So if we go there and get a strike, we could be on thin ice there. We've been there before. We've never had the backup channel terminated. Touch wood. Um, hopefully we don't. But we have had this one terminated twice. And you know what they say about bad luck, right? So we're going to try our best to avoid deletion. But that's why I'm trying to set up Telegram, Odyssey, other platforms so I can continue to create content. I've never claimed to be anybody's knight in shining armor. I've never claimed to be leading or part of any kind of movement. I don't want to be. Trust me, if you feel part of a movement, you've been conned. You fell for it. Been there, done that. What you need to be, in my own view, set in part of is the people you care about, your community, locally, online, people that you can trust. Yeah, that sort of community. Not a movement that is controlled by big names, if you like. That's not gonna get us anywhere. Unfortunately, I wish it could. I wish it was that simple, to be honest. Even when you think back to the Iraq War, I think about 1,000,000 people marched on marched on the in London. And what did it achieve? Absolutely nothing. And they still went to war in Iraq and bombed the hell out of Iraq for what, decades pretty much? How many people have died in that war, including our own people? Quite savage what the British government have done to their own people. It's beyond savage, to be honest. That's the world that we're in. So Tumblr Snapper, and a few other documents in relation to nuclear testing is on the horizon, right? So look out for it. But like I said, I'm not going to give too much away about Monday, but just know it will be about the swine flu pandemic, right? And we're going to be on thin ice with it. Of course, if you ever want to know anything about pandemics, you go to the go-to, which is the WHO, the ever trustworthy World Health Organization. Who else would you trust but, right? And on that 60-minute video as well, in relation to the swine flu, they showed two adverts, two commercials they put out during it to try and basically trick people into getting the inoculation. And again, nothing new under the sun. Terrible what they do. So blatant as well. Honest to God. So you'll get to see them in the 60-minute special. Although it's only about 15 minutes, I think, 20 minutes. But then we get into the real meat, if you like, which is the timeline. And we'll go through it bit by bit, right? And just before I go, before I shoot off, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you have a good weekend. I'm going to try and set up Monday's show for tomorrow, so you'll be able to find it and set a reminder, right? So no excuses whatsoever. I'm on the ball with it. I say that now, we'll see, right? So I'm hoping to get that done, and we can get it done. I was kind of hoping Sunday night, but it looks like it's going to be Monday, right? So let me take you to. Does anyone remember the tsunami of 2004? How old would I have been then? About 16? I can't remember it, to be honest. I remember, was it 2006? There was a I shouldn't laugh, but there was one in Japan, I believe, in 2006. Yeah, Defense Nuclear Agency, DNA, they call it. I mean, that is funny as well, right? Almost as funny as Neil Armstrong biting his tongue. Yeah, he bit his tongue, all right. He bit his tongue. Neil took the warning and bit his tongue. I bet he did. And yeah, so I remember the 2006 tsunami. I remember watching it on the news. I think that was Boxing Day. And I think it was Boxing Day that the 2004 one hit as well. Talk about coincidence, right? But the one from 2004, bloody hell, I've never actually looked at it. I don't recall ever hearing about it, to be honest. But again, I was at school at the time, not really interested in political, well, not political, world affairs or anything like that. Not quite at that age, but when I had a look at some of the the stuff from it, Jesus, that was grim. And this documentary here, I think it came out about 10 years ago. In my view, they tend to always give stuff away at the very, very start, the very, very beginning, the very first thing that you hear. That's it. That's the truth. And I think back to the 9/11, the Twin Towers. There was a guy that got interviewed who was there watching. Um, he was there watching, and he says that he said to the news crew who are interviewing him, he said, I was standing over there and I could see the fire department waiting. They had been waiting there all morning. And I thought, what is it, a conspiracy or something? Boom. Nailed it. At the very, very, very beginning. Practically the first thing said by one of the first people that got interviewed. Boom. They nailed it. And in this documentary, there is similar, in my view, potentially anyway. And I'll play it now. Oh, wait, no, I won't, because I've not got my headphones on. But we'll soon sort that out. There we go, here we go. Right, take two. So here it goes. Check that guy there. He's gone, right?
This is the story of a force of nature so powerful it killed over 220,000 people.
December the 25th, Christmas Day, very few people, I suspect, knew what a tsunami was. Unfortunately, now, virtually the entire population of this planet knows what a tsunami is and the horror that can strike from a tsunami.
What made it so powerful?
Like the aftermath of an atomic bomb.
Boom. There. He potentially has nailed it. At the very beginning of this, you might have got your answer as to why it was so bad. Why it was so powerful, why it was so strong, like nothing ever felt before.
Powerful.
Like the aftermath of an atomic bomb.
Like the aftermath of an atomic bomb. I wonder, right? And this is quite an interesting documentary, The Wave That Shook the World. Some of you might have seen it. We might cover it. Let me take them off. We might cover this tsunami. I kind of want to get into it a wee bit. It takes us away. Well, everything's connected, but it gives us something a bit different to get into, to get my teeth into, if you like. And I'm always very suspicious of these incidents. Very fucking suspicious. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm hoping to get a chance to cover it at some point this year. But on Monday, it will be the swine flu. That's what we're going to get into. We'll say cheerio before I shoot up the road. Off ski, as we say. Bolt like a horse. We'll say hello or cheerio even. And hopefully everyone's enjoying their Friday night. I've got the football tomorrow, so I'll be there. But it's not a day out. So I won't be consuming alcohol or anything like that. I've got too much to do tomorrow and Sunday. I just can't. I've got too much on. So I'll go to the game and then I'll be coming home basically after it. I've got a few things to do then. Then on the Sunday, more stuff to do. But I'm hoping if I get a chance Sunday, I might do the live then. So be warned, it could be either Sunday or Monday night, right? Potentially, Bri. I mean, I wouldn't be able to say for sure. I don't think anyone could either way. You wouldn't be able to say, but I certainly would not rule that out. And it's all very fitting that the guy said straight away, his gut instinct told him that was the effects of an atomic bomb. And when you look at the force of it, holy moly, it is brutal. And that one guy who just stood there like, yep, I'm not running from that. I doubt, I mean, hey, you never know. He might have survived. I can't see it, to be honest. The brutal force taking it head on. Yeah, I kind of respect the guy, to be honest, but you could call it bravery or stupidity. Take your pick, right? There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Trust me, speaking from experience there, right? So let me quickly say cheerio. Good to see Bri in the hood. Ruth as well. A pleasure to have you. Memorial Gardens. Good to see you back again. I hope you have a great weekend. Katie as well. A pleasure to see you in the hood. Who else have we got? Sue. Good to see you back again. Joining the Dots UK. A pleasure to have you. Might as well. Appreciate the engagement. Richard in the hood as well. Good to see Rich back again. Richard remembers it. Yeah, the Indian Ocean, I believe. If my memory serves me correct. So we might get into that a wee bit more and maybe see if we can find out why it was so bad, right? Good to see Rich in the hood. Good man. Crocodile Brummy. Good to see you back again. Yeah. I hope you're doing well. I remember you well. I had you on with Plain Steve, if I remember correctly. It's great to see you, and I hope you're doing well. You can let me know how you're getting on. Great stuff. You've crossed my mind in the past, and I've wondered how you're getting on. So it's a joy to see you tonight, and I hope everyone's doing well, right? So I'll play the Corey's song before we go out. The Earl of Murray, who was the first government official to be assassinated here in the rolling hills of Murrayshire. Do you know Murrayshire today, basically unknown? In its heyday, it was basically the capital of Scotland, going back to the 14th, 15th century, way back. It was a busy place, and not so much today, but it is steeped in history, which a lot of it we'll get into, hopefully. So it's great to see everyone. I'll play that tune on the way out. Like I always say, not for one split second live in fear. Don't do it. Eradicate fear completely. And remember, like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.